Yeah. Everybody's going crazy. The world's going crazy. Trump's going crazy. The Senate's going crazy. Bronco going crazy. Everybody's going crazy now.
Okay, hello. This is another episode of Claude Presents. We have a very, very good topic tonight about health. We have some callers to be calling in, asking questions. So I'm gonna let Noot start talking now about the health, and we'll keep joining people as they come. All right, Noot, you take it away.
Greetings, everybody. Yes, once again, my name is A-Noot Boonoo NoopooH. I represent the Science Noon, which is a science of mental resurrection and resurrection of humanity in general, but especially the African/Ethiopian race. All right. So our goal is to make sure that we are thriving to the best of our abilities as we can. On my shirt today, I'm, honoring some of our past ancestors that has tried to help us reach a level of liberation that we face here in the wilderness known as America, or North America rather. All right. So today we got a very, very special topic. We're gonna be talking about health. I didn't have anything much, put together, but more or less there's gonna be people joining us and asking questions and things like that as it pertains to health. But I believe today's topic was more or less you are what you eat. And I want people to understand that that is an actual fact, that you are what you eat, because most of the foods that we eat definitely affect us on a spiritual scale, on a mental scale, on and just a plethora of ways that we can't even fathom. And one of the ways that it affects us is called epigenetics. So epigenetics, means above genetics, which are all the factors that affect whether your genes get turned on or turned off, right? So, for instance, we could be eating, meat products or oily products, and those particular things turn off our genes within our DNA that doesn't allow us to function to our highest capacity, and this has been going on for a very, very long period of time. So it's up to us to seek out the proper foods and the natural foods to help raise our genetic structure, because we're actually in a special time where our genetics play a vital role in the changing of the cycles of what's taking place, right? So if we are not eating the proper foods, what's going to end up happening is that nature itself will eradicate those who are not eating the right foods that we need. Another issue that we have is that a lot of the foods that we are consuming are hybrid foods, right? And hybrid just means that it's either genetically altered, or they've put chemicals in it to cause it to be bigger, for more consumption and things of that nature. And the issue with that is that hybrid foods for sure causes cancer. At some point in time of eating a prolonged diet of these hybrid and GMO foods, what's going to happen is that the body is now going to start producing cancers within itself. The reason being is because when you add unnatural foods to a natural source, what's going to happen is that those foods are going to in turn start creating cancers within the body. So it's very, very important for us to really watch our diets, really watch how we're eating, and making sure that we're doing the correct things, because the society that we live in today has been ran by capitalism. And capitalism is a driving force when it comes to all of this unhealthy eating, because it's more about consumption and not about quality of the food that we're eating. So that's why you'll see bigger bananas, you'll see bigger gingers out there. You'll see a lot of the food that is supposed to be healthy and the fruits that are supposed to be healthy. They have a lot of chemicals on them, all the pesticides to, help give these things longer shelf life. These are very toxic things that affect humanity in general. And places like the FDA and the NIH, and they're not going to tell us that these food products are detrimental to the human being. Reason being is because everything is a business, everything is a dollar. So they are in the game for, monetary means, right? And these are people that are have been colonizing the planet for a very long time. So we have to be very careful in our food consumption and things of that nature. So I'm gonna just wait till our guests come in so that we could get things rolling.
Okay. I'm here, Claude.
You got to unmute yourself, Claude.
Okay, Noop, we got a guest came in. Two of them right here. We're going to ask the question.
No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Mr. Moore,
Hey, what's
about
good?
health. You want to ask a question about the health?
Can you hear me?
Hey, Mr. Moore, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. You can hear me? Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you good. I can hear you good, Mr. Moore. I can hear you good.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just had a question. I have a friend who at work who deals with like mood disorders and that sort of thing. He has moments. So do you have any tips on how he could, take care? If he has an episode, what can he do to kind of like deal with that right then and there to, calm the person down?
The thing is, with mood disorders, the diet plays a very important role when it comes to moods. Reason being is because food is directly linked to the excretion, or rather the expression of certain hormones within the body. So when we're eating certain foods, what happens is that the stomach, which is our second brain, releases neural transmitters that reach the brain, and it causes these mood influxes, right? So what he has to do is he has to change a lot of what he's eating in order to change his mood, right? But you do have some herbs that help with the mood. Herbs such as valerian, right? So valerian is a very good herb as far as when a person wants to get sleep or want to get rest and things like that. So what it does, it helps the nervous system. So when he's dealing with the mood, it's more or less the central nervous system that he's dealing with, and also the amygdala. The amygdala is one of the organs within the brain that deals with mood and things of that nature. So he wants to, use herbs like I said, like valerian. There's other herbs like lavender. Lavender is also a good herb, and what you would want to do is you want to try to drink it in tea format, right? Yeah. So you want to boil the herb and you want to drink it while it's warm. Why? Because warm water is one of the precursors into, enhancing the immune system. All right. So, if you want to enhance the immune system, what you would want to do is drink some warm water in the morning as soon as you wake up, and that will help to boost the immune system. Cold water kind of suppresses it, but you can still drink cold water as long as it's spring water. You know, even the water in this particular place that we live in is very contaminated, and that can affect the mood as well. So another thing that he may want to do is do light exercising as well, because the exercising helps to release rather helps to reverse some of those conditions, right? So that also helps with, you know, with the mood and things like that. Another good one is sea salt as well. And sea salt, yeah. If he could, yeah, make sure that he gets Himalayan sea salt, or if you want, you could get Celtic sea salt as well. All right, that also helps with the mood. So those are some good factors that he could use. But
that's some great ideas.
What I would suggest for him to do first, though, is to watch the food that he's eating. You know, try to consume green vegetables such as kale, dandelion greens, you know, any type of lettuce except for iceberg lettuce, because iceberg lettuce is a manufactured lettuce. So you want to get one that's natural. Yeah.
Stay away. Definitely pass this along. That's good.
Yeah. Stay away from spinach and things like that. Spinach is a hybrid. You want to stay away from spinach. And drink more water. A lot of water is good as well.
Wow. All right. I appreciate that. That's some good information. You know, he has his moments. He works in the mailroom, and every now and then, you know, don't want to get him in trouble or whatever. So I'll pass this along to him. That's definitely good information.
Yeah, you know, breathe. Oh, another one that I didn't mention, which is really great, is breathing exercises. So there's many different videos online that can show him how to breathe. So whenever he gets into one of those spaces, you wanna consume more oxygen. So sometimes you want to step away and count your breaths. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, breathe in slow, breathe out slowly. Breathe in slow, breathe out slowly. So that would also help with the mood and the fluctuation of oxygen within the body. So that would also help as well. So a very important one is definitely the breathing exercises.
Got it. Thank you so much for that information. I will definitely pass this on.
Not a problem, man.
All right. You have a great night.
You do the same.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Hey, what's up?
How can you tell if you're walking into the supermarket, foods that are like you said that they are they're grown like, you know, the chemicals and stuff are put in them and stuff, and you know they're grown wrong. You know, are there any signs to tell it?
Yeah, they, believe it or not, they have to actually label it. Right.
Oh.
So a lot of the foods that are not necessarily natural, they'll have, like, you know, the sticker on it, right? And usually the organic foods, I believe they start with the number 9 on it, right? Other ones, they start with all kind of other letters and numbers, but the number 9 is usually an indication that that particular food is more natural and more organic. So also they should put on their 100% organic as well. And the reason why they should also put, or should read for a label that says 100% organic, is because even if they slap the label organic on it, that particular product only has to be 20% organic for them to slap the label organic on it. So sometimes we go in the store and we see organic, right? And we pick it up thinking that it's fully organic, but according to these institutions, it just has to be 20% organic in order for it to be slap the label organic on it. Now, if you see it says 100% organic, that's totally different. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of play a very deceptive game when it comes to food. So reading the label is very, very important. And also reading just the little sticker that they put on there. So that's one of the telltale signs that you can tell that a particular product is natural or unnatural. Yeah,
Good
yeah,
information.
yeah. We live in a dangerous society, man. Everything is
It's
about
sad.
everything is about trickery. And the funny thing is, even when something says 100% organic, all that means is that it was grown without pesticides, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a genetically modified organism. And what I mean by genetically modified organism, we have like I did the show with Claude before where we were discussing bananas. So we have about 300 to 1,000 different species of bananas, none of which are natural. So all of the bananas that we have on the market right now are 100% genetically modified. What it means by genetically modified is that what they do is that they don't use the seed of the original plant or fruit. What they do is they cut the stem, right? And they use the stem to grow the actual fruit or vegetable. And what happens is that fruit or vegetable does not grow seeds. If you ever cut a banana in half, you'll see these little black dots, right? So those are supposed to be the seeds, but they're ineffective. They're actually sterile. So you can't take the seeds of that banana, put it in the ground, and then the banana tree will sprout, right? So that is what we're faced with, right? But then they can easily say, okay, because it was grown without pesticides and chemicals, this is organic. No, this is actually genetically modified organism, right? So a lot of the foods that we're eating are not conducive to human consumption. So we are in a place right now where almost 90 to 99% of the foods that we're consuming is not healthy, and it's not going to allow us to thrive and outlive the life expectancy of what it is today, which is around 80 years old, 70 to 80. The human body can actually last a couple thousand years, and people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? That if you study the DNA, at the end of the DNA, it has a particular sequence at the end of it called telomeres, right? And telomeres actually tells you the life expectancy of a human being. It will tell you how long you'll live or the expectancy of that life. Of course, you know, there's accidental factors like car crashes and people out here going crazy and they kill people, whatever the case may be. But if you are allowed to live a natural life, the telomere will tell you how long you'll live based upon how long that telomere is. But our telomeres have been getting smaller and smaller, due to the consumption of the food that we've been eating for a couple hundred to even a couple thousands of years. Also based on the environmental factors of industrial revolution with all the car pollution and you know, the chemicals that they spray in the air called, you know, I forgot what it's called, but you know, these airplanes spray all these chemicals, and that also lowers the life expectancy of the human being. So there's a lot of different factors that play in to our life expectancy and understanding the type of foods and things like that. But yeah, to answer your question about knowing what is natural and what's unnatural, it's very, very hard to tell, but I would say go after the products that say 100% organic.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. But what about, like, I'm diabetic. So since I'm diabetic, what are the best foods to eat being diabetic, I guess, you know, basically.
Being a diabetic, the best thing for you to eat is green leafy vegetables, right? And another one that's really, really good is one called nopal, right? So nopal is the cactus, right? So the cactus, when you strip the cactus of the thorns and things like that, what you'll do is that you could cook it as a vegetable, or you can blend it as a juice, right? So the nopal has been known to actually reverse type 2 diabetes, right? Also bitter melon. I don't know if you ever heard of bitter melon before, but
I've heard
bitter
of the
melon,
name. I've heard the name before.
Yeah, so a lot of countries got different names for it, but bitter melon is another one. That one is very, very bitter, you know, but it's really good as far as reversing type 2 diabetes. Another thing you want to do is stay away from unnatural sugars, high fructose corn syrup, table sugar, you know, like white sugar. Stay away from brown sugar, all of those different sugars. The only type of sugar that you possibly can consume is maybe stevia, but any type of sugar is going to give it a spike. You know what I'm saying? Even stay away from the good sugars such as agave, honey, all of those different sugars. You got to stay away from it. Why? Because what happens is that the pancreas is inflamed now, right? So the pancreas is what is supposed to be processing the sugar within your body and the insulin within your body. But because it's inflamed and it's not able to process that particular information the way that it's supposed to, now you are in a position of compromisation. So what you want to do is to stay away from anything that can cause sugar forming, or because even fat can turn to sugar. Your body uses fat to turn to sugar, believe it or not. The fat turns into glucose, which is a form of sugar, which the body uses as energy in order to move forward. So what you want to do is try to steam a lot of your vegetables as well. So a lot of your vegetables, you want to steam it. You don't want to fry it. You don't want to do anything of that nature. But you want to, if you go online, Amazon, get you some NoopooH pills. You could get the pills in the pill form, but just make sure it's 100% organic and it's not been tainted with. You can also get the bitter melon in that form as well, where it will help you to reverse the type 2, but it's all about diet. You want to stay away from rice as well. I don't know if you ever heard about quinoa, but you want to use quinoa instead of rice. Stay away from any starchy foods, you know, pasta. Stay away from pasta. I know it's a lot of things that people have to stay away from, and it may cause you know, we're not really surrounded by a lot of different things, but it's very important for us to eliminate a lot of the foods that are causing these particular issues, because everything that's around us, you know, it causes diseases. But if you get that nopal and that bitter melon, and you mix those two, you take that at least 3 times a day, I guarantee you by the time you go to the doctor the next visit, he's gonna ask you, what are you doing? You know?
What about meat products?
Meat, stay away from meat, man. if you could I'm not, you know what? With meat, you could possibly get away with certain type of meat, but you want to, if you're going to do meat like chicken breasts, that, you know, stay away from the fatty part of the meat.
Right.
You know, you want to stick with certain meats that are less in fat, which would be chicken breasts. You know what I'm saying? You want to consume that. But even with the food, the food consumption, you know, they pump these animals and make these animals huge. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really do much benefit to us. So
Right.
if you wanna use any type of foods or meats, I would say get it from a trusted source. You know, maybe try to go to Trader Joe's, because I think Trader Joe's have free range chicken.
Right.
So apparently the free range chicken isn't pumped with any chemicals, and they kill it you know, humanely. So any animal that you kill is not done humanely, because once that animal starts secreting fear hormones from the brain, it actually goes throughout the entire nervous system of the animal. So once the animal knows it's dying, it's gonna secrete these hormones throughout the body, and then that hormone now goes into you, causing you to have the same negative side effects of the animal. So, you know, if you want to reverse the diabetes, you want to get off the meat, you want to get off the oil, you want to get off the fat, you want to get off all of these different things and go on a strict diet of just consuming vegetables and herbs and a lot of spring water.
Wow, it's not much to eat.
Right, but you want the body to heal itself.
Right.
You know, so allowing the body to heal itself is going to get you back into a place and it doesn't take that long, believe it or not, to heal diabetes. If you do this for about 90 days, you're going to see that it's going to reverse itself.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. It takes about 90 days for a cell to actually replace itself. So a cell in the body takes 90 days to replace itself. So once it takes 90 days, well, certain cells take different times, you know, brain cells,
Right.
but the most important cells and blood vessels in your body, they take about 90 days to repair itself. So you want to go through that for about 3 months, you know, of repairing itself. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, you got some time to, you know, to really, you know, get it together. Diabetes is not the know all end all. You know, it's the I know they say, oh, you know, it's very hard to reverse it and things like that. Yeah, it's hard when you're living in a society where the chemicals are taking precedence over the natural diet. So you wanna get to a place where you can where you could start to allow the body to do what it's supposed to do, because that's what the body was designed to do by the creator. It was designed to function in a way where you can now live a very long and healthy life. And the way that you can do that is by, you know, clearing it up. You want to also detox as well. You know, start off with light detoxes, because with diabetes, it can cause issues if you're fasting and things like that. So you want to start off slow, and then you could ramp it up even more as time goes on.
How long do you need to detox?
I'm sorry?
How long do you need to detox?
At least every week.
Mm.
Every week. You know, what you want to do is try to get a purge. So in the corner store, a good one, it's only like $2. I think is magnesium citrate. So you
Yeah, I've
want
seen that.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, just consume a bottle of that. Boom, stay home for the day. Allow your body to push that out, right? You know, prune juice is a good one, but prune has a lot of sugar in it, you know, and I don't want to your sugar levels to spike because you know, you're using the prune. So the magnesium citrate is a good one. Push that waste out, because the colon is what holds most of the diseases. So you want to flush the colon out, get all the, you know, get the bad stuff out. You also want to do maybe 7 days of the herb is called Cascara Sagrada. So Cascara Sagrada repairs the colon, removes all the bad bacteria that might be sitting in there, and replaces it with good bacteria. So Cascara Sagrada mixed with the magnesium citrate, that will help to clean.
What is that? What's the kind of stick? I can't pronounce it. But what is that?
It's basically a herb that cleanses the whole entire digestive system.
Oh, okay.
So as it's going through the digestive system, it's like a brush.
Mm-hmm.
Gala apples actually do that as well. Gala apples, Gala. So what they do is they brush the entire system and push everything out through the colon, through the rectum, and flushes it out. So this is what these particular things do. You want the body to clean itself from these particular products, and then allow the pancreas now to repair itself. Yeah, everything in our body is rejuvenating. We have the ability to rejuvenate anything in our body. We just have to know the format, and we just have to start eating healthy again, and then you'll see the body rejuvenate itself.
Wish I would have known that 20 years ago.
Well, even though you're 20 years removed, you can fix all that in a relatively short time. That's an amazing attribute of the human body, is being able to repair itself on a moment's notice. All you have to do is to stop eating a lot of the foods that we consume. And just and start to do the proper research, and seek out proper nutritionists or herbalists that's going to help you to reverse that. So you're in the right place.
So, you got any like recommendations on like stores and stuff to get the stuff?
The funny thing is, because I live in Queens, I don't really know many in Queens. You could go online though.
Right.
Any herb that you want, you could just type it in.
Noop.
Yeah, what's
Tell
up?
them about visual remedies, or I mean, you do herbs, Noop.
Yeah, I definitely do herbs as well. So if you're looking to when we get off the show, you can get my number from Claude, and you could definitely text me or hit me up, and I'll definitely walk you through some things, and some packages and things like that. I just thought you wanted the stores, if you wanted the store, there's actually there's one on I believe it's 86th Avenue and Parsons.
Visual remedies.
I forgot the name of it.
Because when we use the visual, I go to your visual remedies, right?
Where's that?
That's on, like now is moved from the McAvenue.
I think that one, the store I'm talking about is called Guru Health Foods. Guru Health. Yeah, Guru Health Foods. So that's a herbal store that's over there. But yeah, just get my information from Claude, and I could definitely walk you through it and help you out.
All right, sounds good.
You have any other questions?
How about start hitting the point about cholesterol and hypertension?
Hypertension
and cholesterol.
Hypertension, and that's actually caused by the eating of meat consumption. And cholesterol is definitely linked to hypertension, because what it does, it constricts the blood vessels, right? A lot of the foods that we're eating contains fat in it, and the fat constricts the blood vessels, and now the blood cannot free flow through the blood vessels. Another thing that also constricts it is lack of oxygenated food that we consume. So carbon dioxide and all the other chemicals that we're consuming actually constricts our blood vessels. So the mixture of fatty foods, lack of oxygen, and poor diet is what causes hypertension, right? So it causes all of this high blood pressure that's going on. And then, they tell us actually one of the most healthiest foods that you can actually consume, they tell you not to consume it. Why? Because they give us the unhealthy version of it, which is salt. Salt is the most important aspect of hypertension. But the problem is we're consuming table salt. So table salt only has 2 minerals in it, sodium and chloride, right? Which is poisonous to the human being. We need to get Himalayan sea salt, black sea salt, any of those different sea salts instead of the table salt. The reason being is because salt itself has over 70 to 80 different minerals inside of it. Why? Because they're coming from reserves of either volcanoes or the ocean, right? So sea salt or the volcano salt is actually coming from reserves or rocks that are actually absorbing a lot of the minerals around it, right? But because we live in such a demonistic society, what they do is they strip all the minerals of it and only leave the things that make it taste like salt. which is sodium and chloride. So it tastes like salt. So they like, okay, this is salt, and they put it on a menu for us to consume, which is actually doing the reverse of what it's supposed to do. So a person that's actually consuming Himalayan sea salt can actually cure the hypertension by consuming Himalayan sea salt and other types of sea salts, right? So they actually bastardize the cure, and now it pushes people away from it. Oh, I can't use salt because I got, high blood pressure. You actually can use salt, but you have to use the proper salt in order to get the proper nutrition that you need from that, right? So high blood pressure, you want to stay away from fatty foods. You want to consume a lot of leafy green vegetables, right? And the ones that I particularly prescribe is you want to use kale, right? Either the red kale or the green kale. Kale come in different colors. You want to consume dandelion greens as well. Dandelion greens is one of the most powerful and most beautiful vegetables that you can consume. You want to use nopal. Nopal in the vegetable form is great for diabetes as well, but also for hypertension as well. So you use those particular things. You use your green lettuce as well, not the iceberg lettuce like I was speaking about before. You want to consume any other lettuce except for that iceberg lettuce. Romaine lettuce is good, but even that, when they start commercializing these lettuces, man, I get a little wary about it, because once capitalism gets a hold of it, everything is about $1. How can we produce this faster? You know what I'm saying? How can we speed up the production of this particular thing? That is the issue that I have with a lot of the fruits and vegetables and things like that, is because they're speeding up the production. Something that usually takes a year to grow, they're doing it in 30 days. 30 days is done. Boom. Put it on the shelf. 30 days. Okay, let's go. What can we do to speed up the production? So that's what capitalism has been about. It's about the supply and demand, and that's very dangerous to society, because now where everything is based upon speed. So the faster it gets on the shelf, is the faster that your shelf life is. So we want to be very careful with that. But yeah, hypertension, you want to get the proper salt, which is Himalayan sea salt, and you want to exercise as well. You want to get the oxygen going, the blood flow. We get a lot of oxygen from these green leafy plants. Why? Because the magnesium is a precursor to oxygen when it comes to plants, right? Our body uses a lot of iron, so we need oxygen. We need oxidation, right? We need a lot of salt water. Salt water will help open up and bring more oxygen within the body as well. So we have to learn these particular things. So chlorophyll brings in oxygen. If we breathe out carbon dioxide, and what do the plants take in? Takes in the carbon dioxide. Right? So the plant processes the carbon dioxide and gives it back as oxygen. So we have to consume those green leafy vegetables that create oxygen within the body.
Okay. All right. Are they good on them?
You're basically suggesting that we basically just grow our own stuff for the most part. Right? So,
that is ideal. The ideal aspect is to grow your own food in the proper soil.
Right.
Even it's crazy that I even have to say this, but even the soil that they're growing this particular food in is not good.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, the pH of the soil is acidic. And some of these fruits and vegetables and things like that, if you look at the worst thing they could have done is Industrial Revolution. You look at all these big tractors, and all they're doing is digging up the dirt, folding it over, putting all sorts of chemicals in it in order to allow the soil to grow the particular plant that they're desiring. And what they're doing is they're finding out ways in labs to make it reach that particular process of growing it. When in Africa, all we needed, or anywhere around the world, I can't even say Africa, because you can go to the Amazon rainforest in the South America, and all they need is the rain water, right? Because the rain water, once it falls on the ground, what happens is that the electrons in the cloud, they flip places. So the positive electrons go to the top, the negative ones get to the bottom, and when it rains, the negative ones get to the soil, and that changes over the soil to allow the soil in order now to grow very positive fruits and vegetables. So all of this is a cycle of life. But because we live in North America, where a food product can spoil from the time it gets from South America to North America, they have to find ways to make the shelf life longer. Right. So they put chemicals and they put all kind of different things in the food. So by the time it gets to you, it has a shelf life. But because the prolonged shelf life, now your shelf life of existing on the planet gets shorter. So yes, the idealistic thing to do is to grow our food, but we just don't have that luxury of growing our own foods. Right. You know, because of the environment that we're in, because of the soil that we are under, and capitalism just eliminates all of that.
It's sad.
It's sad, but then, you know, we can pick the best out of the good.
Right.
You know, until we can get to a place where we can actually do that, grow our own food.
Wow. It's deep, right? It's deep, right on?
Yeah.
Man, but got a tower garden with a pH system. Everything out there, you like say you don't know what's going on in this area. The way you got to grow your own stuff.
Right.
You got different areas peeing in the fucking soil, and you don't know what's going on in this food. You know what I'm saying? They had a big thing on the news about that. But they found a lot of feces matters over there in different China. Be feces matters all in the food coming over in America. They grow your own stuff. And how are we gonna know what goes in your body? When we go in your body and stuff, we got to grow your own stuff sooner or later. That's all it is.
Yep.
That's all it is. With this time going in.
Absolutely, man. It's you know, and after you done watched out for all the stuff that's bad, you know, now you got to watch out for food that's not really food. I know we call it food, but some of this stuff ain't really food. You know, they're fake foods. You know, it like cabbage. You know, we was talking about cabbage the other day. You know, cabbage is another one that's not good to be consuming. You know, it's an unnatural source. You know, garlic. We talked about garlic the other day. You know, a lot of people swear by garlic, but garlic is.
There you go. That's my garlic. I
garlic.
Know
you garlic is by
garlic is horrible. You don't want to consume garlic. You want to use what is called leeks. You ever go into the grocery aisle, the produce section, you want to use leeks, 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 instead of using garlic. You want to use the green onion, right? The green onion is the small stringy one. You want to use that instead. You want to use
that.
Huh?
I grow that in my backyard.
Yeah, you want the green onion. You want to use that. You want to use the regular onion as well. You know, white, purple, it don't matter. Even though I would say go after the purple onion, you know, because the purple onion has melanin in it. You know, so you know those are the ones you want to consume. But garlic is horrible. You want to stay away from garlic. You put garlic on the end of a knife and you cut somebody, they're gonna bleed to death. They're gonna bleed to death. If you put garlic on the end of a knife and you cut somebody, they're gonna bleed to death because the blood will not clot. Why? Because the oxygen allows for your blood to clot. You understand what I'm saying? But garlic doesn't allow oxygen to free flow. So that's why you could just bleed on out if you cut somebody with garlic. That's how dangerous garlic is. So imagine what it's doing to the internal organs. You understand what I'm saying? So, and we consume a lot of garlic, you know. You got to be very, very careful in what it is that we're consuming as far as we call our diet. Standard American diet is terrible. You know, they talk about these 3 meals a day. We're not supposed to be eating 3 times a day. Supposed to get one good meal and, you know, some fruits or fruit smoothie or, you know, some water throughout the day. Only one meal a day is good. You know, if you're going to use breakfast, then the next meal that you should eat is breakfast again. Or if you're going to do breakfast, then the next meal should be, you know, dinner the next day. So you only should consume one meal a day. You know, snacks are good, but these snacks, they done bastardized snacks too. You know, a lot of these snacks are horrible. Chips, soda, candy bars. It's terrible. Only type of snack we should be consuming is fruits. Salad, fruits, salad. You want to consume that. You know, only type of candy bar you should consume is one that has a complete whole grain. Complete. None of the ones on the market are complete whole grains. So don't even think about it. None of the whole, maybe you know, the funny thing is last year I was going to start my own whole grain bar line, and I think I'm going to still do it. I have the time now. I'm home. I ordered a whole bunch of spelt bars, but I think I'm going to get back to that. Because none of the ones on the market are healthy. None. Zero. Not even the kind. You ever see the ones that say kind? Those are horrible. 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 So, you know, yeah. It's terrible. We living in a very toxic environment where, you know, they're trying to depopulate the planet. It's as plain as that. Bill Gates said it, you know, and you know, all of these different demonic scientists, they all say it. They're trying to depopulate the planet. All the real seeds are in a vault. They call it the Doomsday Vault. All the original seeds are in, I want to say Norway. I'm going to look it up. It's called the Doomsday Vault. Right? And the Doomsday Vault is supposed to be a vault in case we go through a major catastrophe. Yep, it's in Norway. Just look it up. And you can look it up. You can look it up right now. The Doomsday Vault is in Norway, and it has all the original seeds for the past 6,000 years. And everything that we've been consuming is not original.
What do you suggest for liquids? Like just water?
Water, spring water though. Don't, the alkaline water that's out here, do not consume that water, because that is not water. That's chemical water. You want to use a pure alkaline source. And Poland Spring, not good. Spring water. Reason being is because the bottles, maybe if they change their bottles, they'll probably be a good source. But the bottle that they use is not a BPA approved bottle, right? So BPA is the chemical that seeps in to the water itself. As light hits the bottle, the chemical BPA, I think is bisphenol something, and it seeps into the water, and that seeps into the body, and that's toxic. All right, so you want to consume natural spring water that comes either in a glass bottle or it comes in a BPA free bottle. All right. So anyone that has a natural source, Fiji water is good, you know, because it comes from a natural source. You know, as far as drinking stuff, you could use natural fruit juices as well. You know, natural fruit juices, that's actually excellent to consume. You know, fruit juices. What's up?
Which one? Now we got 3 more minutes left.
Which one? What?
Fruit juices.
Making your own. Making your own.
Right?
Yeah. If you want to make your own fruit juices, some good berries are good. Wild blueberries, wild blackberries, strawberries, raspberries. Those are good berries to use, especially in the morning because they're high in antioxidants, right? So that helps to clean out the digestive system, get the digestive system going in the morning. Coconut water with the coconut meat, that is a great one, especially for athletes. If you're an athlete and you want to, that is actually nature's Gatorade, which is coconut water, because it has a lot of nutrients and minerals in it, especially when you consume it with the coconut meat in it, right? So when it comes to health, you know, in this last couple of minutes, I just want to say that, you know, we have to be very intentional in the things that we're putting in our body, right? We got to read these labels. If you read the labels and you see some things that you can't pronounce, you know, stay away from these food dyes. What's up, Claude? I saw you raise your hand.
I was testing out.
Oh, yeah, you want to stay away from the food dyes, the red 40 and the blue 5s and the yellow this and the stay away from those. All of those things cause cancer, right? So you want to stay away from those things. You want to read the labels before you actually consume it. You want to consume 100% organic things. You know, of course, you're not going to be able to change everything in a day, but over time, as you gradually do these things, you're going to get better at it, you know? But I appreciate the questions, you know. You guys can hit me up even, you know, outside of the questions, as well. You know, you can hit me on my Instagram. You can hit which is flawless11. So it's FLAWLESS, the number 1, and then you're spelling 1 as well, ONE. So that's FLAWLESS, the number 1, ONE. All right. So I appreciate the questions. And thank you again, Claude, for having me on. As usual.
No problem. Well, we had episode. So how you doing, Autumn? Was it a lot of question answered to you?
Nah, everything was good. Appreciate it, bro. Definitely appreciate it. Good
Not
information.
a problem. Not a problem, man.
Oh, that's good then. So this is another episode of Claude Jones Presents. I'd like to thank all my guests for coming on. I'd like to thank Mr. A-Noot for getting his knowledge and helping the people out with his bad health. And we're going to do another episode most every night till everything pop off. We're doing our thing. Our main thing is try to spread knowledge, and the knowledge of power. What people don't know will hurt you. Believe that. What you don't know will hurt you. So I appreciate everybody coming on, and have a good night. Thank you very much. Peace.
Peace.